Good morning, friends. I, Dr. Devesh Bandil, Associate Professor, Suresh Gyan Vihar University, that is accredited by NEC A grade. Today, I will discuss about alternative key, composite key, foreign key. Okay, you know your key is the main important in your DBMS, and I am sharing my PPT. I hope you can see my PPT. Today, I will discuss about alternative key, foreign key, composite key, and your surrogate key in your DBMS. You know the important role of key in your DBMS. If you are making a software, there are two parts of your software. There are the two portions of your software. First is your front end part, and second is your back end part. In your front end part, you will take the any programming language, and in your backend part, you will take the DBMS. You will make the DBMS. So if you are having a DBMS, suppose you are having DBMS like college management system. So in this DBMS, you will make a many tables, like your student table, like your teacher table, like your course table, like your management table. Okay, suppose in your student table, you have to already store the data of your 1 lakh students. Okay, and you want to search the data for a particular student. So if you will use the key, if you are having the key, so through the key you can search the data of individual student. Like suppose if you are having a table of your teacher and you want to search the data of your particular teacher, so you can search the data of particular teacher through the key. So that's why your key is play the main important role in your DBMS. Okay, and during this lecture, I will discuss about so many topics which are related from this lecture, like your object and outcome, alternative key, foreign key, compound key, composite key, surrogate key, and after this lecture, I will I have to edit the some questions which are related from this lecture. Before object and outcome of this lecture, I would like to discuss about the outcome and object of your DBMS. Okay, you know, if we will discuss about the object of your DBMS, so the objective of your DBMS is to demonstrate the DBMS concept, is to demonstrate the normalization concept, is to demonstrate the ER diagram concept, is to demonstrate the relation algebra and relation algebra operation concept, relation calculation concept, SQL concept. And after studied this paper, that is your data structure and algorithm, student will able to uh, normalization, how to apply the normalization, how to draw the ER diagram, how to apply, how to write the operations of your relation algebra, how to write the operation of your relation calculus. Also, students should a student will be able to what is your SQL, how to write the query. Okay, so these are the all outcomes of this paper. And now I will discuss about the object and outcome of this lecture. Okay, the main objective of this lecture is to understand the concept of your key, like your alternative key, foreign key, composite key, and outcome of this lecture is to, through this key, how to identify a unique record. Okay, so these are the objective and outcome of this lecture. And first of all, I would like to discuss about the what are the key in your DBMS. As per I had told, the main important role of key in your DBMS, key in your DBMS is an attribute or set of attribute which help you to identify a row, tuple, or record in a relation table. Okay, means through a key you can take one key for identify a unique record, for identify a unique tuple. Also you can take the more than one key for identify a unique record, for identify a unique tuple. They allow you to find the relation between the two tables. Also your key is useful when you define the relation between one table to another table. For example, suppose if you are having a database of your college management system, and in your college management system you will create many tables for your students, for courses, for teacher, for management. And students have the relation from the teacher because your teacher teach to students. Okay, so through the key you can also define the relation between your student and your teacher. Okay, so through the key you can identify a unique record, unique tuple, unique row. Tuple means row, tuple means record. Okay, like your student record is your student name, father name, mother name, address, student city, student pin code number, student mobile number. That is your bun tuple, that is your bun record, that is your bun row. So through the key you can identify a particular record, and also through the key you can also define the relation between your one table to the another table. Okay, key is also useful help for finding the unique record or row from the table. Database keys also help for finding the unique record or row from the table. Okay, and here you can see, as mentioned in this table, here I had taken a table in which I had taken three columns, and also you can say that three attribute like your employee ID, first name, and your last name. Okay, and here you can see all employee ID are unique. That is, these are your 11, 22, 33, and your first name Android, Tom and Alex, last name Johnson, Wood and Hale. Okay, so here you can see through the employee ID, that is your 11, 22, and 33, you can identify a particular employee. Okay, that's why your key is the compulsory. And your here your all employee ID are unique, 11, 22, and 33. Okay, so through the employee ID you can identify a particular record, either your Android, either your Tom, and either your Alex. And in the above, as per I had told, in the above given example, employee ID is a primary key. Okay, here I will give overview about a primary key. So in your primary key, you can take the one or more than one attribute for identify a tuple, for identify a record. Okay, you can take only one attribute, and you can take more than one attribute for identify a tuple. For example, suppose teacher. Teacher is your table, and in this table you have already inserted the 100 teachers data. Okay, and your teachers attributes are teacher name, teacher father name, teacher ID, teacher PAN card, teacher Aadhaar card, teacher ITR number, etc. Okay, and you want to identify a particular teacher. Okay, so your teacher ID is unique, your teacher Aadhaar card is unique, teacher PAN card number is unique, teacher ITR number is unique, teacher lesson number is unique. So for the identify a unique teacher, for identify a unique record of your teacher, you can make the any column as your primary key, and also you can make the more than one column as your primary key. Like, because through the teacher ID you can identify a particular record, because teacher ID is unique, and teacher Aadhaar card may be a primary key, because through this key, through this attribute, you can identify a particular teacher. And also, if you will combine the teacher Aadhaar card, teacher PAN card, and your teacher ID, so from when you will compose these three columns, when you will combine these three columns, so in behalf of your three columns, you can identify a particular teacher. So that's why I had told about the primary key. In your primary key, you can take one or more than one column, one or more than one attribute for identify a particular record, for identify a particular tuple. Okay, so that's why here I have mentioned employee ID is a primary key. You can see here in this table, you have taken a employee ID attribute as your primary key, because through the employee ID you can identify a particular record, you can identify a particular tuple. And why we need a key? Why need is the compulsory? Key help you to identify any row of data in a table. Okay, through the key you can identify a particular record, you can identify a particular row in a data, in a table. In a real world application, a table could contain the thousand of records. Suppose you are taking a table in which your thousand records are existing, and the record could be duplicated. Maybe when you are taking a database, so maybe in your database, your one record will be exist many times. So that time your duplicacy will arise in your database. You will use the normalization in your DBMS, and about the normalization, you can say without the normalization, your database is nothing. Your database is zero if you are not applying the normalization in your database. Because through the normalization, you can reduce the duplicacy, you can reduce the redundancy, because many times in your many database, your one record will exist many times. If your one record will exist is many times, so you will face the problem when you will update the record, when you will insert the record, etc. Okay, so that's why I had told about the normalization. Your normalization is the must compulsory in your database. So the record could be duplicated in your database. Key in RDBMS ensure that the uniquely identify a table record despite these challenges. Okay, that's why your key is the compulsory. Allow you to establish a relation between identify the relation between tables. As per I had told, through the key you can establish a relation between the table, help you to enforce the identity and integrity in the relationship. That's why your key is the compulsory. And here I will discuss about the alternative key, foreign key, compound key, composite key, and your surrogate key. And I will discuss about all the key one by one. Okay. First, I will discuss about the alternative keys. Okay. Alternative key is a column or group of columns. As per I had told, column also you can say that the attribute, and your attribute is the characteristics of your entity. Attribute is the features of your entity. Like your student is your entity. So your student features, student characteristics are student ID, student mother name, father name, student city, student address, etc. Means these are the all columns of a student table. Okay. Here is alternative key is your column or group of columns in a table that uniquely identify every row in that table. Through the any key, you will identify a unique record. Also, you will define the relationship between the tables. So here I am discussing about the alternative key. Alternative key is a column or group of columns in a table for identify a unique record, for identify a unique tuple. And a table can have multiple choices for a primary key, but only one can be set as the primary key. Okay, your multiple choice for a primary key in your table as per like you can make the student passport number as your primary key. You can make the student ID as your primary key. You can make the student Aadhaar card number as your primary key. So here a table can have multiple choices for a primary key, but only one can set as the primary key. All the key which are not primary key are called the alternative key. Okay, so that is your alternative key. And now here I had taken a table in which I had taken four records. First your student ID, sorry, four many columns, student ID, roll number, first name, last name, and your email ID. Your student ID are 1, 2, 3, roll number are 11, 12, 13, first name, last name, and your email. And also, in this table, student ID, roll number, email ID are qualified to become a primary key. Here you can see you can make the column student ID as a primary key. You can make the column roll number as a primary key. Okay. And your email are qualified to become a primary key. But since student ID is the primary key, roll number, email becomes our alternative key. Okay. Through the student ID, through the roll number, you can identify a particular record. Okay, and email is email maybe a unique. So through the email, you can identify a particular student. So student ID is the primary key, and your roll number and your email becomes our alternatives key. You can see here in this table, we can make the student ID as your primary key, and your roll number and your email, these are the or alternative key. And your first name and last name, from these both columns, you can't identify a particular record. That's why you can't take the first name and last name as your primary key. That's why here I had taken the student roll number, email as your primary key, and your through the student ID you can identify a particular record. That's why your student ID is your primary key, and your roll number, email, these are your all the alternative key. Okay. And now I will discuss about the what is candidate key. You know, I had told about all types of our key, like your alternative key, like your candidate key, like your foreign key, like your composite key. And now I will discuss about the candidate key. Candidate key in a SQL, SQL is that standard to structure query language. SQL is a set of attributes that uniquely identify a tuples in a table. You know, when I had talked about the primary key, in your primary key, you will take the only one and more than one columns you can take as your primary key. And here I am discussing about the candidate key. So in your candidate key is a set of attributes that uniquely that identify a uniquely that uniquely identify a tuple in a table. Candidate key is a super key with no repeated attributes. If your attributes will not repeat, so your candidate key is a super key. The primary key should be selected from the candidate key. You know, you can select the primary key should be selected from the candidate key. Every table must have at least a single candidate key. If you are having a table, so in your table, at least one candidate key will exist. A table can have multiple candidate key, but only a single primary key. This is the you know difference between your primary key and your candidate key. A table can have multiple candidate key, but only on a single primary key. And properties of candidate key, it must contain unique value. Always your candidate key will contain the unique value. And candidate key in SQL may have multiple attributes. In your candidate key in your SQL may have multiple attributes. Must not contain the null value. Candidate key will never contain the null value. Every time your candidate key will contain a some value, not a null value. It should contain minimum field to ensure uniqueness. Uniquely identify each record in a table. So these are the all properties of candidate key. In a table, more than one candidate maybe exist, but only one primary key will exist. Okay, and all properties of your candidate keys are: it must contain the unique value. Candidate key in your SQL have multiple attributes, must not contain null value. It should contain minimum field to ensure uniqueness, uniquely identify each record in a table. I had taken a table student in which your all attributes are student ID, roll number, first name, last name, and your mail. You know your student ID is your 123, roll number is your 11, 12, 13, first name Tom, Nick, Dana, price, right, and Nathan, and email ID this. So in this given table, student ID, roll number, and email are all candidate key, which help us to uniquely identify a student record in the table. So you know in this table you can see in this slide through the student ID you can identify a unique record, roll number you can identify a unique record, and email ID you can identify a record. So your student ID, roll number, and your email are your candidate key as per I had mentioned in the given table. Student ID, roll number, and email are candidate key, which help us to uniquely identify the student record in the table. And here you can see in this given slide, student ID is the primary key, roll number sorry is the candidate key, roll number is the candidate key, email is the candidate key. Okay, and you know student id is your primary key, and you know through the student id you can identify a unique record, roll number you can through the roll number you can identify a unique record, and email you can identify a unique record because in this table your email id are unique. Every student have unique mail id like your 1, 2, and your 3. So in this given table, your candidate key are your student ID, your roll number, and your email. And your primary key is your student ID, and your alternative key are your roll number and your email, as per I had discussed in my previous slide. And now I will discuss about the what is foreign key. Okay, so you know foreign key is a column that creates a relationship between the two tables. Means behalf of your foreign key, you can create a relationship between the two tables. The purpose of foreign key is to maintain the data integrity and allow navigation between two different instances of an entity. You know your entity is a person, place, or thing. Like your table is your entity. Okay, it acts as a cross reference between the two tables, as it references the primary key of your another table. So you know about the primary key. Your primary key is a column. Sorry, your foreign key is a column that create a relationship between the two tables, and the purpose of your foreign key is to maintain the integrity and allow the navigation between the two different instances of an entity. It acts as a cross reference between the two tables. Okay, as it reference the primary key of your another table. And here I had taken an example. Okay, in this table I had taken a two attributes, department code and your department name, you can see. And also in this table, teacher id, f name, and last name. Means I had taken the two tables. In your first table, I had taken the two attributes, that is your department code and department name. And in your second table, I had taken the three attributes, teacher ID, F name, and your last name. So in this key, in your DBMS example, we have two tables as per you had already seen. In this key, in your DBM example, we have two tables, teach and your department. Like your, this is your department and this is your teach. Okay. And in a school, however, there is no way to see which search work in which department. In this table, adding the foreign key in your department code to the teacher name, we can create a relationship between the two tables. Okay. And okay, here teacher ID, department code, F name, and your last name. You can see here. And now I will discuss about what is the compound key. You know, compound key has two or more attributes that allow you to uniquely recognize a specific record. It is possible that each column may not be unique by itself within the database. When combined with the other columns or columns, the combination of composite key become unique. The purpose of the compound key in a database to uniquely identify each record in a table. The purpose of your each key is to uniquely identify each record into table. And here you can see I have taken a table in which order number, product ID, product name, and your quantity. These are the four attributes. These are the four columns. And order number and your product ID can't be a primary key. It does not, because it does not uniquely identify a record. However, a compound key of order ID and product ID could be used. It uniquely identifies the each record. And now I will discuss about the what is the composite key. Okay. The composite key, is a combination of two or more columns that uniquely identify a row in a table. The combination of columns guarantee uniqueness through individual uniqueness is not guaranteed. Hence, they are combined to uniquely identify a record in a table. The difference between compound and the composite key is that any part of the compound key can be a foreign key, but the composite key may or may not be a part of the foreign key. And now here I will discuss about the differentiation between your primary key and your foreign key. Every key, the main objective of your every key, the main goal of your every key is to find the unique record, is to find the unique tuple, is to find the unique row. And here I will discuss about the differentiation between your primary key and your foreign key. Okay. If we will talk about the primary key, help you to uniquely identify a record in the table. And if we will talk about the foreign key, it is a field in the table that is the primary key of your another table. Means in your foreign key, that is your field in the table, that is the primary key of your another table. A primary key never accept a null value. Okay. Your primary key will never accept a null value. Every time your primary key will have a value, will have a some value. And your foreign key may accept multiple null value. That is the major major differentiate between your primary key and in your foreign key. in your primary key will never accept the null value, and the foreign key may accept the multiple null value. You know, and your primary key is a clustered index, and data in the DVMS table are physically organized in the sequence in the clustered index. And in your foreign key cannot automatically create an index clustered or non-clustered. However, you can manually create an index on the foreign key. You can have a single primary key in a table. You can have multiple foreign key in a table. Means if you are taking a primary key and if you are taking a foreign key, so in your table you will make only a one primary key. And if we will talk about the foreign key, so in your table you can make a multiple foreign key in your table. And one major differentiate between your primary key and your foreign key, your primary key can never accept the null value, and your foreign key will accept the multiple null value. These are the differentiation between your primary key and your foreign key. I hope you have understood about the alternative key, about the composite key, about the foreign key, about the alternative key. And as per I had told, I have to inserted some questions which are related from this lecture, and I am very much confident after studying this lecture, student will able to give the answer of following this question. Which one of the following is set of one or more attribute taken collectively or uniquely identify a record? You know, candidate key, sub key, super key, and your foreign key. So your answer will be a super key. Okay, in your candidate key you will take the set of more attributes taken collectively to identify a unique record. That's why your answer will be your C, that is your super key. If you will consider the attribute ID, city, and your name. Suppose if you are having a table of your student, and the table student attributes are student ID, student city, and your student name. So which one of this considered as your super key? Your name, your ID, your city, and your city ID. Okay, so through the name you can't identify a single record. You can't identify a single tuple. And through the ID you can identify a record. Through the city you can't identify a single record, and through the city and ID you can identify a single record. So your answer will be your ID, that is your B answer. And through the ID you can identify a single record, and also you can consider it as your super key. And I had already inserted the another question. The subset of a super key is a candidate key under what condition? Okay, your first option is that no proper subset is a super key. All subset are super key. Subset is a super key. E subset is a super key. Before understand this question, you should know about the subset. If we will talk about in your mathematical term, that is your subset. If you are having a set in which your elements are 1 2 3 4 5, and you have another set in which your elements are 3 4 5. Okay, your B set is the subset of your A because all the elements which are already in your B are already placed in your A. That's why you can say that B is the subset of your A. So here, talking about the subset of your super key is a candidate key under the what condition? First is your no proper subset is a super key. All subset are super key. Subset is a super key. E subset are super key. So no proper subset is a super key. A Flinders length is a property of the entire relation rather than of the individual tuples in which each tuple is unique. Row, key, attribute, and your fields. Through the key, you can establish the relation between two tables. And also through a key, you can identify a unique record. Okay, so that's why your answer is not a row, not a attribute, and not a fields. Your answer will be key, because in the behalf of your key is your property of the entire relation rather than of the individual tuples in which each tuple is unique. Because through the key, you can identify a unique tuple, you can identify a unique row, you can identify a unique record. Okay, that's why your answer will be B. And behalf of your key, you can identify a unique record, you can identify a unique tuple. Which one of the following attribute can be taken as a primary key? Here, your question objective is that which one of the following can be taken as your primary key? Like your name, street, ID, and your department. The behalf of your name, you can't identify a unique record, and the objective of your primary key is that identify a unique record. And behalf of your street, you can't identify a unique record. Okay, because some city having the same street name. Suppose your one street name, that is your Ram Vihar in your Jaipur. So maybe your Ram Vihar street will be exist in your Ahmedabad. Your Ram Vihar street will be exist in your Bombay. So that's why behalf of your street, you can't identify a particular record. And your ID, ID will be unique. Behalf of your ID, you can identify a unique record. Department, behalf of your department, you can't identify a unique record. So your ID is your primary key. That's why your answer will be C, that is your ID. And your behalf of your ID, you can identify a unique record. Which one of the following cannot be taken as of the primary key? Here I had mentioned in this question, which one of the following cannot be taken as a primary key? ID, register number, department ID, and your street. So obviously, your answer will be street, because behalf of your street, you can't identify a record. And your question objective is that which one of the following cannot be taken as a primary key? You know, you can consider the ID for a primary key. You can consider the register number as your primary key. Your department ID will be considered as your primary key, but you can't consider the street as your primary key, because behalf of our street, you can identify a unique record. An attribute in a relation is a foreign key if the key from one relation is used as an attribute in that relation. Candidate, primary, super key, and your sub key. That is your primary key. Attribute in the relation is a foreign key if the primary key from one relation is used as another attribute in the relation. So that is your answer will be B. And the relation with the attribute which is the primary key is referenced in another relation. The relation which has the attribute as a primary key is called, this is the referenced relation. The fill in the blanks is the one of the which of the primary key of one relation is used as a normal attribute is another relation. Differential relation, differential relation, reference relation, and your referred relation. Your answer will be reference relation. A entity constraint requires that the value appearing in a specified attribute of any tuple in the referencing relation also appear in specified attributes of at least one tuple in the reference relation. Your answer will be differential. So I hope you have understood about the concept of your alternative key, foreign key, candidate key, super key, primary key. And after studying this lecture, I am very much confident a student will able to give the answer which I have already inserted in this lecture at your end of the lecture. And that time I am very much confident student will able to concept of your key. Thank you.